all right. Welcome back, fellow strummers. Hey, the first part of this video that I uploaded a little over a week ago seems to really have got some traction and really hit a chord with a lot of, no pun intended, with a lot of you guys and girls that are just starting out or have even been at it for a little while and just not happy with your success. So look, first of all, we received a lot of comments. I received a lot of emails about the subject, and it made me realize that there are a lot of you, a lot of us, in the same boat. And that's reassuring, and it should be to you, that it's not only you that feels that you're struggling or you're not making progress, okay? The reality is, playing the guitar is a long, sometimes torturous journey. And even though it is a long journey, okay, we have fun and we see and hear ourselves improving along the way. If we were to sit there and go, okay, it's going to take you 3 years before you're anything, then most of us wouldn't even bother putting in the time from day one. But because we all kind of think that we're going to do this in 6 months, and it's not going to happen in 6 months. Okay, now some of us are lucky enough that in 6 months we are playing 3 or 4 chords and we're playing them okay, and we're able to play basic versions of songs. But for a lot more of us, the 6-month mark is still filled with mistakes and bad timing and bad chord fretting and harsh strumming, and it just doesn't seem to be coming together. We don't understand things other than, basic chords, and that's okay. All right? So rest assured you're not alone. So in this part, what I'd like to say, or what I'd like to talk about is, well, what's next? What next really depends on you, okay? Where you want to go. And this is the time to say to yourself, look, I know 3, 4, 5, 6 chords, whatever it is. Preferably, 3 chords in one key and maybe 3 chords in another key. Sometimes those keys can be shared, or chords can be shared in that they appear in both keys. Makes it a little easier, less to learn. And you know how to play them seamlessly, right? So now the biggest mistake people can make is, again, taking another bite out of the apple and biting off more than you can chew. Now, you've got yourself now a good guitar foundation. Left hand, right hand, your ears are listening, they like what they hear, your brain is happy, it's giving you the motivation, it's helping you with your right hand tempo, you're implementing different strumming patterns, right? Okay, and that's important. Now, right here and now, you have the ability to go out and learn thousands of songs in many genres. Okay? Now, the only thing that's going to pop up, right, aside from learning the nuances of a certain song, right? There might be a certain little riff that you want to play, or the way it's strummed, or, there could be something that you have to pay attention, but rest assured, you're still playing the same open chords that you've been practicing. So the only thing that's going to happen now is you're going to start running into bar chords, okay? Now, bar chords are almost unavoidable. Now, if you want to be a campfire guy and all that in the party house on a Friday night and play all these cool old classic rock songs and folk songs, yeah, you're probably never going to need a bar chord. And if you do, if you use a bit of Google, inner Google there, you'll come up with a way that you can actually use your capo. Now, we've talked about capos in some of the videos in my channel, and we can use those capos to avoid playing bar chords to a certain point, okay? But you know what? Like a lot of the elitists say, hey man, just learn the bar chords, and they're right. Okay? So what we want to be careful of now is we don't want to go back into a deep dive of learning because we've spent so long in the back of the bus. Now it's our time to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and I encourage you to do that. Learn songs, build up a repertoire of, 10 songs that you know and you can play at any time. Now that might sound simplistic, but that's difficult. I've been at it quite a while, and if someone put me on the spot and said, "Hey, Ray, play us some songs," I'd be like, "Oh, what should I play?" And my head would be spinning, and I'm like, "Oh my God." And I probably know, dozens of songs like that. But do you think I could think of 3 or 4, that I want to play? So, that's just the reality, right? So what we want to do now is we want to start, and you will find that you're going to be Googling songs that you want to play, and you're going to get a bar chord hit you, and it's going to come up a lot. In my case, it was the B minor. It was coming up in all these songs that I wanted to play, right? So I thought, okay, I got to learn the B minor. Now, in the past, I went into a deep dive on bar chords, and I got so disillusioned and sore that I quit guitar altogether. This time around, what I did was, and what I encourage you to do, whatever your bar chord is that keeps popping up, and it will always be that one, especially if you're playing in a certain genre and learning songs of a certain key, you're going to see the same bar chord come up. So again, for me, it was the B minor. So I've got some videos about how I approach learning bar chords. I encourage you to check them out. So we're not going to go into too much detail here, right? But what I did was I just played one bar chord at a time and learned it. That's it. And again, it was B minor, and I integrated that with all of my open chords, playing them back and forth, to and from the B minor. Whether or not they're in the same key, and there's C and B minor, they don't really ever come up. I mean, I'm sure there are some, but it very rarely doesn't happen that much. Maybe E and B minor don't happen that much, but still, it's the exercise of fretting, getting your fretting hand coming from any chord or to any chord to be able to land the proper fret. And that's important. So don't worry about that right now. Just play all your open chords that you know and can play well, and integrate the B minor into it. Now, if it's an F sharp minor, then do the same with the F sharp minor. If it's whatever bar chord that you want to learn, if it's the B major and you don't want to do that cheater that I show you, then that would be the bar chord and the only bar chord. And you play that bar chord with your open chords just like you did with your open chord, building your guitar foundation, your open chords that you knew. You play that bar chord until it's seamless and you can nail it 9 times out of 10, meaning land it, proper fretted and everything, and it sounds good playing. And then you would expand from there. So it could be a G sharp minor that you need all the time. Great. So I'm going to play my G sharp minor with my A minor, back to my G sharp minor, my C to my G sharp minor. Regardless if it sounds good or not, meaning melodic, it's the actual act of putting those chords together, right? Okay. So that's the way to go from here. And the next thing you know, you've got a controlled learning environment that is productive. And now you know 2 bar chords that you didn't know a few weeks ago, or 3, which could then become 4, right? Okay. So that's how I would approach the bar chord situation, because yes, I promise you, once you build that guitar foundation, which you've worked so hard to get, you can go anywhere. And yes, there will be a learning curve, but it will not be like the learning curve day 1 when you picked up your guitar. Because now you have weapons, and you have confidence, and you have a base of experience to draw from. So while sloppy and choppy they're going to be at first, that might only last an hour, a few hours, 1 night, 2 nights, a few days, a week. That's it. No more of this, slaving endlessly trying to play 2 or 3 chords. Right. But here's what I would do if I were you, is before you went to the bar chord route, I would concentrate on little things that I've showed you in the past, we'll touch on here again, that make your open chords well, a little more cooler, okay? And generally we do that if you check out my video about the amazing second fret. And in that second fret, which is where we play all of our open chords, there are a slew of notes. Now those notes are attached to a scale, but we don't need to know that right now, okay? And those notes are, right, starting here in your open position, the G note, 3rd fret of the 6th string, okay? The B note, 2nd fret of the 5th string, and the open version, so just the straight open A. So open A, fretted A, which is a B. Then the next string down, which is the 4th string, open and fretted at the 2nd. And then of course the next string down, which is the 3rd string, open and fretted at the 2nd. And we can play those notes in any order, up and down, okay, with our open chords. And let me show you a few ways to do it, all right? So let's say we're starting on G, and we want to go to a C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these are just random. You can play any one, and you can just do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these are called walk-ups and walk-downs. 1, 2, 3, 4. You saw them in my library, but maybe you weren't ready at that point. You didn't have the coordination. You didn't have the fingering ability, right? Okay, so now you do. So now's the time. So this is where I would spend a lot of my time. Now, I can show you, which I'm doing, certain notes to play, but I encourage you to get in there and just play around, because what you're also doing, do you remember the juggler thing I always talk about? When a juggler throws a ball up, he has to figure out how much time he's got, and in that time he's got to throw another ball up, prepare this hand to catch the one coming down, and repeat, okay? And those are motor skills. So we got to do the same thing here. So at first it's going to be a little awkward, but trust me, it's going to get good and easy real quick. And what we're doing is we are going to keep our count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything has to maintain the count, whether we play a chord or we play a note. So I would sit there and just try to make everything, no matter what notes you play, it's irrelevant because it's an exercise. You're building up your timing and figuring things out as opposed to making a melodic statement, right? So nice and slow, nice and controlled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4. Right? Start on the G, work your way down, note at a time, come back, nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. Okay? That's the next thing I would do. Now what you'll be able to do then is you'll be able to stitch together all your open chords. So we're going to use this note. Once you've mastered the middle, the guts of the second fret, we can then use this note, which is your B string at the first fret. That's a C, okay? And we want to use this note 2 frets over, which is a D. And we can use these 4 at the bottom. That's all part of what they call the open pentatonic, but you don't need to know that. And then we're going to come up through the middle, right? So we have da da open C, open A. All right? Now, this is what I would spend time on in part 2 of this video, all right? And we're going to end it here to give you something to work on, and we're going to continue this series about utilizing that guitar foundation that you have worked so hard to build up, right? So this is an overview of how I went from 0 to hero my 3rd time. It's not, as you can tell, all the individual pieces of what I worked on are in my library, okay? This is the overview of how I put it all together. And I couldn't put anything together, and no offense, but nor can you, until you have a competent guitar foundation in place. Left hand, right hand, ear, and brain, all working together seamlessly, motor skills wise, all right? Otherwise known as muscle memory, right? So we're gonna leave it here, give you something to work on. Okay? And we'll see you again for part 3 of your overall guitar journey as an overview. I hope this helps. Send me your comments. Tell me where you are in your journey. And if you want, you can even send me links to some of your stuff, post videos. If you have your own channel or a page you can post to, send me a link. I'll take a look at it. I'll offer any feedback I think I can. So, hey, don't be shy to share your journey with me, okay? All right, and for those of you that have not yet subscribed, please do so. It tells YouTube that I might be a somebody when we really all know that I'm not. And also, you're going to get notified when I go live. And I go live multiple times weekly with sometimes lessons, practice tips. Sometimes I just turn my camera on and let you watch me practice. And starting back up in the fall, we will resume our weekly lesson at every Tuesday. And lots more coming up. So if you hit subscribe, you'll be in the front of the bus. All right? Okay, and remember, above all, just play your guitar, because that's how you get better. All right, see you soon.